what we're gonna be doing today. Not the animation of this guy. We're gonna be working on the car today and how to make an exit vehicle in Unity. So sit back and watch it here. Let's begin. So before we start, I would like you to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel, ring the bell icon. Thank you. So now in today's tutorial, first of all, we're gonna do an input as this system like in a GTA. We talk about things like okay, when the player goes close to the trigger on the car, what should happen to the player? The player should actually disappear. So and now the player should be set active and the camera of the player should be set active, so the car controller should be active and the car's camera to become active. So now I got a script right here. Let me make it wider, bigger. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry, that's not the script. Now this is the script of the car controller. Here is the player, the car, the camera of the car, the camera of the player, the camera of the car. Then now this is gonna be a text we're gonna create. We're gonna create a text. Excuse me. Yeah. We're gonna create a text like saying when you go close to the car, when you go close to the trigger on the car, the text is gonna say something like enter car. So that's what this text is for. Then now the drivable, if the car is driving, if the car can drive. Okay. So now when we press the key F, we go okay, sorry. On the starting of the game, the vehicle controller, there's this script on the vehicle I have on my game. The vehicle controller is set to be the vehicle controller is disabled. So now we're gonna enable it as false. While the text is also false, so we don't have any text. So now the next thing is that our update, that's what's gonna happen after the start. So now when we input the F, that's the F key on our keyboard, the car is drivable. Well, the drivable when, so we go to the trigger now. Is drivable if the tag is if the player tag players, because we also tag this player. If a person tagged player is collides with the trigger, is the enter exit text becomes active and the drivable also becomes active. So now when the drivable is active, the vehicle is enabled, the text becomes disabled, the player becomes a parent of the car, the player's game object also becomes false, the player's camera also becomes false because we need only one camera, we don't need two cameras, and the car's camera becomes active. Now if you press the letter G on your keyboard, it does the opposite of what you do. The car becomes inactive. The car does not become inactive, sorry. The car's controller becomes inactive, so the car is there but it can't move. The player that we made a parent, the player that was set as parent of the car, the player that became a child of the car will go back, you do the reverse and you not become a child again. So now the player will also become active. So now after that on the trigger exit as okay. So now if the player leaves the car and he doesn't have access to the trigger, the enter exit text is inactive, is false, and the driver will comes first. Now let's say you go close to the car, you're gonna see the text enter car, but now when you move away from the trigger you will see the text again. So that's what this is all about. Okay, now let's go back to our Unity, and now this is a script over here. If you didn't see it, well, let me go around again so we can be able to look at the script from the top. Let me try and zoom in. Okay, I think this is all I could go. I'm actually using. Okay. Okay, so this is the beginning. From here, going down. Yeah. Just so you guys can see the script. It's a very easy script. It's C++ code, very easy. Which we're still gonna edit later in the video. So now, let's go to the game. Now what we're gonna do next, first of all, we're gonna select the car. And name of the car is old car. Because I'm using you go to Unity, search for realistic car kit. I'm gonna leave again link in the description below. So I took a car from your assets, and another one I'm gonna be using for the player is a player from the cover plus shoot asset. It's actually, I'm gonna link a link in the description, but this is a paid asset, but you can get another random assets from your asset store. Okay, so now the old car, that's the car we're gonna be using. We have, you have any, can use any choice of a car, but I choose to use this one. Okay, so now first of all, we're gonna drag the script enter exit car into the player. Then now we're gonna fill in all these parameters here. So now the vehicle's control, we're gonna drag in the vehicle control script. If you're using a standard asset, the name of this script is not gonna be vehicle control, it's gonna be car controller. Different assets that have their own scripts. So now what you name your script is what's gonna be here. So the script of this asset is vehicle control, so that's why you see we're gonna be using vehicle control here. So we're gonna place the script here. Now for the player, we're gonna select our player. You drag him in here. For the car, we're gonna select our car, old car, and drag it in here. For the player camera, anyhow your player camera is, if you, my player camera is out here, so we're gonna drag it in here. And for my car's camera, I kept it in here because it has different places. Yeah. Then now for the text, we're gonna create, for the text, we're gonna create the text right now. We're gonna go create UI canvas. No, I don't search for canvas. Let's go straight to the text. Now let's drag this out here. Okay, so now let's write on the text. We're gonna write enter vehicle, enter car. Now let's just say vehicle, enter car. Yeah. So now what we're gonna do next is that we're gonna let's make it bold, set the font size to 30. Still we can see it. Where is the text? Oh sorry, let me just select it. So let's start again. No, control. So now let's start again. Let me first of all create UI canvas. Yeah, where the canvas, I'm gonna create UI a panel, or let me just go straight to text. Yeah, I can see it now. So now let me anchor it to the center. Okay, let's say be stretched along the middle. So alt, you press your alt key and keyboard and you select. So now it's stretched in the middle. Yeah. So next we're gonna go down and we'll anchor it to the middle. Yeah, so now we're gonna make the font size 30. You make it bold, then we'll make it white because my background here is dark, so we're gonna make it white to make it clear for us. Okay, I think this was too big. Let's make it 20. Yeah, 20 is okay for me. Now bold. And now in the text I'm gonna write enter. Good. I'm just gonna drag it down a little bit. Just drag it down a little bit. Yeah. So that's pretty much for the text. So now we're gonna go back to the car, and under the text, enter text, we're gonna drag in our text. Good. So now that's pretty much what we need to do for now. So now make sure, because if you go back to the script, you're gonna see that the player is tagged player. So you must make sure that your player is tagged with the name player. So mine is tagged player. So if you have a tag, you're just gonna go add tag, you create a tag, and you tag it player. Okay, now let's test what we just did now. Okay, so drag this back in here. So I'm gonna test it now. Oh no, oh, I just forgot. we have not added the trigger because we meant to make a trigger. So now we'll go back to the scene. Yeah, so now we know we're meant to make a trigger, and we're meant to make a trigger. So now first of all, we're gonna select the car. Then under the car, we're gonna select add component, box collider. Yeah, so now let's look. So now we're gonna select the edit collider. Yeah, so let's edit our collider now. Sorry, old car. Yeah. Sorry, old car, edit collider. Now we're gonna make it go up. F. Okay. Then drag, because we prefer to enter the vehicle from the left hand side, the driver's side. You can try make it this way. Each trigger like this, that you can enter from both sides, but I prefer entering from one side of the car. I don't want it to be entering from both sides, so it makes the game tougher. So you can just quickly get into the car, just getting from one part of the car. So now what we're gonna do next is that let's make it the same size with the door of the car. Yeah, so we just get the door here and over the front here. So now this space here, because the player can stand here but it's not actually get close to the car, so we'll just increase the space a little bit. So when it gets close to the car, you see the text coming out into vehicle. So now the next thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna make it higher because it should be touching the ground, so that it won't collide with the ground. Okay, it's still low to me. Like I think this is better. Okay. Yeah, this is actually good. So now what we're gonna do now is we're gonna set it as a trigger, because a trigger. Now that's pretty much what we're gonna do now. So let's test what we just did. So let it just load. Now you see. Okay, you see we are viewing everything in our scene. Now you see the car can't move actually because his vehicle controller is switched off. So now when we move to the car, closer, you see the sign enter. Look at the enter everything here. So now we're gonna press from our script. Remember that we said F is the enter vehicle's code and E is to come out of the vehicle. Is it E or G? G. So we're gonna press F. So now we're inside the car. Now we can move around the car. Cool, right? Oh, that's just a little bit I was trying out. So that's why it seems that walking over here is actually a security guard. So you can't even kill it. So let's check our camera view. I change my camera to okay. Okay, say I'm here inside. But now we just noticed something. When I get into the car, I can only see myself. I can't see the player inside the car, right? Okay, that's an issue we're gonna fix right now. You see, most of these GTA games, when the player disappears, a clone player is made to appear or reset active inside the car. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna go to our prefabs. Or me, I'm gonna go to model. I prefer model. If you have it on prefab, you can go. And this is the same character. I'm gonna drag him in here. Yeah. Then I'm gonna paint it the same color I painted my player. My player, I can't remember the color. So go to my materials. I gave my player something like this. Yeah. This one. So where is the model? Let me get it. Okay. Yeah. So now I'm gonna give it the paint that you need to make him look exactly like. My character model. And he has to look exactly like him. No, that's not enough. That's not what I want. Nah, it's not looking like him. Okay, that's it. That's what I used. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take him into the car. So now this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna adjust this guy to make him look like he's a driver. So we'll go under the guy and look for a skeleton. I'm just gonna do this. So you see here, I'm working on it already to make it look like someone who's driving. As you can see, if you look at him from a different perspective, you see that he's already sitting outside. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. Okay. So now we're trying to get him into the car. I think I chose a very big car because it's gonna really affect me. My guy can't actually want to relax in the car. Okay, I think that I've actually tried and this is enough. Okay, so let's see how it works now. So now, because this is not actually the main thing we need to do, because you can take your time and do this at home, anyhow at your office, any way you want to work with this, you can take your time and do this at your leisure time. But the main thing now is the script. Okay, we need to edit our script in order to for this to work, because we didn't add it in our script. So now let me rename it back to player clone, or let me just change the name to player backup. Yeah, his name player backup. So now it's actually the player's backup. So now we're gonna go to our script. So what we're gonna say in our script is very simple. We're just gonna say we add another one here. I say enter public transform. Sorry. Player backup. Yeah. Sorry. So now we're done with that. So next we're gonna go straight here. Now look for every place that player. You see the player. Now you see here where the key F is pressed and it's drivable. You see the enter text, the text component. Now you see the player does set parent is in the car. So now our player is set active false. Then now we see player backup. This game object that's set active true. Yeah, so that's it for the player. Oh god, no. The camera has to go active false first. Control X. So the camera has to be on first, then this is active. So now we'll just copy this. Yeah, you see. So now when G is pressed, when the camera goes off, this camera also goes off. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all we need to change. So we'll save that and go back to our play. And as we allow the scene to load first. Let's just be patient for a while. Okay, now it's done. So now very simple. Let's go straight to our. Let's just go straight to our car and do this. We're now going under the you see the player backup. The slot is command. We're now put the player backup. Yeah. So now first of all, let's start the game. Let's try. Let's see if our script works. Okay, let's go. Okay, I think we made a mistake somewhere. Now let's just go here and add. But on the starting of the game, the starting of the game, this should be set to false. So now we save this. Okay, so let's test it out. Okay. Okay, now you see there's no player in the car. So now there's nobody in the car, so when we enter, and let's use our camera to check. Okay, we can't see anybody, so we still have a problem. So now we're gonna go back to our script. And now we're gonna do this. And something we forgot to do was that we were meant to go under the car. Then we're gonna look for the chair of the car. So we're gonna just body of the car, the components of the car. Maybe we'll see the chair. No. So let's go into the car. And just like this. Nope, it's not glasses we want. We want the chair. So that just body. So that just drop the player back up under the body. Yeah. That's all we just need to do. So now the player backup C followed it anywhere it goes to. So now that's not the main issue now. So now let's test it out. Okay, time to test it out. Because I pretty much think that all we forgot to do was to put the fake player inside the car. Because now we drove the car away from there, so now the player remained where it's meant to be. So now he's gonna be with the car. So let's try it. Yeah. Yeah, so now we use F to enter. So now let's try change the camera. See what player. Out of the car, you see that the player also disappeared, right? So now we enter again. Player is back. So when you come out of the car, we're out again. Now it works perfectly. So now let's try run up the car when the car is on speed. Like in normal GTA game. Okay? Enter again. Let's go. If you like the tutorial, you subscribe, like and share. Thanks for watching my tutorial.